Today we're making the number 1 overall pick in the MLB Draft. Ever since we finished in last place a year ago, I knew we'd have a chance to draft the Rockies' next superstar. I've been deciding between 2 of the top prospects, and later in this episode, you'll see our entire draft class, including the number 1 pick. If you'd like to skip directly to the draft, you should be able to do so over the scroll bar. But I want to take you through one game quick, as we have a game from the channel member live stream I did over the weekend. We have a game here against the Texas Rangers with Jon Gray pitching. In the first inning, the first 2 batters reach, and then a ground ball to second base and a 4-6-3 double play. Fix the fielding settings after last episode. We immediately get that ground ball double play. That's been a problem for us all season. Top 3, base hit for Dom Nunez. And then Raimel Tapia, he's got that beautiful swing, and again he's going deep right field with a perfect swing home run. This year, he's added a lot more power to his game. I love what Tapia has done this season. He'll continue to be our leadoff batter, especially with the power he's been displaying this season. Rockies strike first, 2-0, bottom 3. Runner on first and a base hit into left field. Leody Taveras makes it 2-on, nobody down again for the Rangers. And then Sherten Apostle into right field. They called him up and he delivers a base hit, and the Rangers get on the scoreboard. That brings up David Dahl. Runners at the corners, and another single ties the game at 2. David Dahl playing against his former team. Still 2-on, just 1 down, and Jon Gray picks up a big strikeout against Joey Gallo. We go bottom 4, 2-on, Taveras up again. This time it's a deep drive. It's got a chance to leave, but the catch is made on the warning track. Jon Gray keeps it a tie game, and then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with a ground ball, and Jon Gray gets out of the inning. Rangers getting some offense, though. They tie the game. Now Colorado trying to get the lead back. Here's Adam Duvall into the shift, but a tough play from deep short, and Duvall reaches. Then Dom Nunez. The 1-0 driven deep to right field, and finally a Dom Nunez home run, first of the season. And I believe that's the first I've hit with him. We had a home run robbed with him a couple episodes ago. Finally one leaves. It's 4-2 Colorado. But how about Sherten Apostle, deep left field? This one not quite out of reach. Nice catch on the warning track. A couple close calls in this game. And then David Dahl. This one is actually going to leave, as he gets the homer against his former team and cuts the lead down to just 1 run. Jon Gray trying to preserve the lead, 2-2 against Joey Gallo, and he paints the outside corner. That was the second strikeout, I believe, for Gallo to this point. Top of the 6th. Here's Connor Joe, and he's going to take this one the other way. That'll get into the corner, and Connor Joe ends up with his second double of the day. Rockies trying to get that 5th run. Adam Duvall, he's been hitting better lately, but swings and misses at the curveball. Rangers keep the game close. Austin Gomber out of the bullpen, and he gets the ground ball right to Baez. Finally, these 6-4-3 double plays are working. Just had to go from button accuracy to button for fielding settings. If you're like me playing with no fielding meter, do not play on button accuracy. You're basically using an invisible meter at that point. I'm trying to make it ratings based. I think we're there now. 7th inning, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa waves at the slider. And then Robert Stevenson gets 2 strikes to David Dahl, and he chases outside. Rockies still up by 1 as we bring in Sir Anthony Dominguez, who has been a phenomenal Rule 5 pickup to this point. Starting off against Joey Gallo, he reaches for the first time a 4-pitch walk. Then Nate Lowe ends up getting into a full count with Dominguez battling back, and then Lowe Down the line, and he is aboard. 2 base runners here in the 8th. Brandon Crawford, 2-2 with 1 down, and Dominguez picks up the strikeout. That's why we wanted to add him to this team. Now just have to get 1 more. Here's Sam Huff. Dominguez having more trouble than usual finding the strike zone. And Sam Huff gets ahead 3-0. Takes a high changeup. Now 3-1. And Dominguez misses inside at 98 miles per hour. The bases are loaded. Here's Leody Taveras. Big opportunity. 30th pitch of the inning is fouled away. Dominguez ahead in the count. 1-2. Taveras grounds it up the middle and past Baez into center. Tapia has some trouble with it. And that slow ground ball gets 2 runs to the plate for the Rangers as they take the lead 5-4. Now it's the Rockies trying to get a comeback against Jose Leclerc. 9 of 11 on save opportunities this season. Starting off with Hampson grounding to short, and he is retired. Then Brendan Rodgers on the first pitch, not ready for this 99 mile per hour fastball. Right back to Leclerc. Adam Duvall, it's all up to him. Now 98 above the zone. That gets strike 2. Leclerc comes back with the slider, strikes out Duvall, and the Rangers get a nice come-from-behind victory at home as the Rockies drop this game right ahead of the MLB Draft. Really good game, just a frustrating one to not close out. We're trying to get back to being a 500 team and have to find a way to win games like that. We go into the MLB Draft with a 22-26 record. Last year it was a 21-34 record. For some reason we had way more games played by the draft last year. But like I said, we have the number 1 pick, and I've been trying to decide between Everett Casilla and Johnny Schaffer. And there was a lot of great feedback last episode, good arguments for taking either player. They're both elite talents. They're both good hitters. Schaffer has more power. I think that Casilla's a better defender, but playing completely different positions. Ultimately, I wanted Johnny Schaffer basically because he has more power, and I think him being an elite catcher prospect is a good tiebreaker because not every team has a great offensive catcher. So I think about, am I happy taking a player perhaps with the ceiling of JT Realmuto with the number 1 pick? And yeah, I love the sound of that. That's what I hope we're getting with Johnny Schaffer anyway. In the second round, I was focused mostly on pitching prospects. Pat Reeves, 80 potential, not going to be a dominant strikeout pitcher. And then there's Michael Wilkerson with 75 potential and a bit more strikeout upside. I thought about taking Wilkerson with this pick, but ended up taking Pat Reeves because I just didn't think that, other than the strikeouts, Wilkerson had any other skills that really gave him an edge. But because that was a competitive balance pick so close to our second round selection, I just drafted both anyway. This to me was an ideal start to the draft. We get Johnny Schaffer and then 2 really good pitching prospects. And I think I did a better job scouting this year to make sure I still have players that I have scouted for later rounds. Can definitely still do better there, but because we had the number 1 pick, I scouted so many top of the board players to not screw it up, hopefully. So then I was deciding between a couple shortstops with our third pick. We end up going with Reggie DeVore. And when we get to the 4th round, we end up in a situation where we only had 3 players actually scouted, and Henry Sandoval, the other shortstop, had the best potential available, so we just take both players again we were deciding between. After that, there was nobody left that I'd actually scouted, so really at this point you're just guessing. If you get anybody with C or B potential, you're getting lucky. I decided to then draft Kevin Feliciano, a relief pitching prospect with a very early MLB ETA that had the best K/9 available. Then, in the last round, I decided to draft Lloyd Dodge, 65 overall, 80 potential, fairly early MLB ETA. Good contact hitting, good speed. So there is our year 2 draft class. And here is a look at the potentials. Johnny Schaffer, 96 potential catcher. Off the bat, we see really good contact against lefties. I think that we're looking at a player with like a ceiling of JT Realmuto and a floor of Mitch Garver. I'm pretty happy with this selection. After that, we have 2 pitchers with good potential in the high 80s, starting with Pat Reeves. Hit per 9 is a bit of a concern, same with K per 9. I'm not trying to rush any of these pitchers to the majors until they really solidify these skill sets. Wilkerson is better in those 2 areas. I like having pitchers with different strengths and weaknesses, so I'm really happy getting these 2. Then, Reggie DeVore, 79 potential at shortstop. So in each of these situations, when I had to pick one player over the other, I was right at getting the better potential player. And with DeVore and Sandoval, I don't know what to really project with their offense. It looks very low right off the bat. DeVore has a really strong arm, but his fielding skills are actually low. Then we get to Kevin Feliciano, and 71 overall with C potential, but that can still work out of the bullpen. If you have a couple good pitches, that's really more important than overall, when all I want you to do is throw like 13 good pitches a day when it's your time. Then Lloyd Dodge, ending up here with 98 speed. That's fun. Contact in the 40s and 30s. Like to see that get a little bit better. But overall, I'm happy with the draft class. I think we have 2 more pitchers. We can start, single A, double A, start developing them next season. We did the same thing a year ago with a couple pitchers that I liked a lot. When it came to our number 1 pick, I was deciding, of course, between Schaffer and Everett Garcia, who ended up with fairly low power here in the 30s. And I wanted to get some power with this pick, and so I think we ended up with a really good selection there. And after going through every team's draft, Johnny Schaffer had the highest potential out of any player in this entire class. Another player I liked was Kareem Gilliam, but he was a very high injury risk, so I wasn't considering him with the number 1 pick. He ends up going to Arizona. What did you think of the draft? Let me know down in the comments section. Next up, we're trying to get to the All-Star break. Right now, Darren O'Day, number 2 in votes for relief pitching. Javi Baez, 4th in shortstop voting. And we have some more matchups here against the San Diego Padres as we go on a 5-game losing streak here. And we're going to get into a matchup on June 5th, just trying to take one here from the Padres. We're not really expecting to be a playoff team this year, but we want to see how long we can stick around. We're 52 games into the season, 8 games under 500, but in this series against the Padres, we get more of that inconsistent offense. In 2 out of the 3 games we'd already played against them, we were shut out. In the other game, we scored a single run. I know the Padres have some good pitching, but I like to think we have some pretty good hitting on this team, but we struggle going up against the best. John Gray pitching once again. We've seen him a lot this year. Starting against Trent Grisham, 3-2 count, and he misses low. And this is after like a 10-pitch at bat for Jake Cronenworth leading off the game. Then we go to Manny Machado with Grisham taking off, and he takes second base. 3-1 to Machado, and it's already looking like trouble for John Gray. 21 pitches in, just 1 down, facing Fernando Tatis Jr. Last episode, we talked about him kind of struggling this season. And he grounds this one sharply over to Baez, and despite the great speed of Tatis, he's doubled up, and John Gray gets out of the inning. He is not the most entertaining pitcher. I don't know how he gets these zeros sometimes. Rockies facing Mike Clevinger, and he has been elite this season. A sub-2 ERA. Picks up a lot of strikeouts as well, as Tapia misses a changeup that was left up, and then Javi's just in front of this cutter. That could have been 1-0. Clevinger not missing with this pitch. Over the inside corner, strike 3. Top of the second. 0-2 count for John Gray facing Alex Dickerson. That's more like it. Curveball on the outside corner. Then Austin Nola, he lines one into right field. I like Nola. I think that was a good move by the Padres to acquire him. And then Jurickson Profar, deep left center, out of reach, and that's going to roll for a while. And here in this wide open Coors outfield, that is easily going to make it 1-0. We go bottom 2. Mike Clevenger. Now it's the slider on the outside corner. He picks up strikeout number 3. We go into the top of the 3rd inning, and John Gray picks up a strikeout with Grisham chasing one inside. 2 down, facing Manny Machado. Change up on the outside corner. Gray comes back, hits the inside corner with the fastball. All right, let's try the other corner on the outside, but Machado's going to drive this one deep right center. Tapia can't get there and plays it off the wall. Another extra base hit. Here's Fernando Tatis Jr. 1-0 in the air into left field, and the play is made. Just able to get to that one. John Gray keeps it 1-0. We go bottom 3. Clevenger with a great start to the game, but doesn't get the call and walks Duvall on 4. Now, I've been terrible bunting in this game, but I think this is my best one here with John Gray, and made it a close play at first base. Raimel Tapia's been excellent this year, but he misses another one left up. Can he come through to tie the game? Not here. 12-6 breaking ball. Another strikeout for Clevenger. We go into the 4th. 0-2. John Gray throws the curveball, and Alex Dickerson crushes it into the bullpen. And the Padres add a run. It's 2-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. No hits to this point for the Rockies. Clevenger getting better command of his slider. We can't hit it. This time we take one outside, and Javi Baez, after a walk, trying to take second base. He's thrown out by Nola, and then Fuentes strikes out. A frustrating first 4 innings against Mike Clevenger. We've had a lot of these games with no-hitters going into the middle of the ball game. Top of the 5th, John Gray still out there. Runner on first, and this one is drilled into center. Base hit Trent Grisham. 2 aboard. Manny Machado, 2 on. He grounds it to Baez. It's so nice to actually convert some double plays for once. Now we got to get some starts with Andrew Heaney after all the ones the defense has messed up. Bottom 5. This one's into left center field. The no-hitter is broken up by Sam Hilliard, and he can fly. Around second base, he'll be in at third easily. If we had sent him, he might have gone inside the park. But it's his 5th triple, and the game wanted me to know before that he was tied for first in the National League in triples. I guess he's taken that over now. He's at third base. Brendan Rodgers past Clevenger. Played behind the second base bag, and Rodgers reaches infield single. Rockies on the board. And that brings up Adam Duvall. And he crushes the curveball left up, and that's going to put the Rockies in front. Things are heating up for Adam Duvall. This is the player we all thought we were getting after the offseason. 480 feet. This one's not against a lefty either, like some of the other ones we've actually gotten with him. We pinch hit for John Gray here in the 5th. This is Zach Borenstein, who made his debut last episode. And Clevenger gets ahead 0-2. But Borenstein turns on one, crushing the slider, deep right field, double-decker, and the Rockies go up 4-2. A no-hitter through 4. And just like that, the Rockies offense awakens. And this is what we've been wanting to see from this offense. I know that we're inconsistent, but we have the potential at any moment to have an inning like this. It's not over, by the way. Raimel Tapia, this will stay in, but it hits off the scoreboard. And with that, the Rockies have hit for the cycle as a team here in the 5th inning. Everything falling apart for Mike Clevenger in the 5th as he walks Garrett Hampson. And Dave Roberts, who came over from the Dodgers in the offseason, has seen enough. And they have Yu Darvish pitching out of the bullpen now. That's really interesting. He did well against us in that previous outing. And he comes into the game with 2 on. Here's Fuentes, already a couple strikeouts already. And a close one there. I'm not sure how I even took that pitch. 3-2 from Darvish. Hit it pretty well, but nice play at short by Tatis. 4-2 Rockies through 5. Can the bullpen protect the lead this time? Sir Anthony Dominguez looking for a bounce back in the episode. Gets a nice pop-up. Then Ha-Sung Kim comes off the bench, and he pops up just in front of Brendan Rodgers. Good inning this time for Dominguez. In the 8th, it's Scott Oberg, and this is drilled into right. Not really sure yet who I want to be the setup pitcher. I'm going back and forth between Dominguez and Oberg. But Oberg gets the chance this time and hits the outside corner. He strikes out Trent Grisham. Then Manny Machado. Ooh, got away with a fastball over the plate. But then Machado chases a slider. Oberg gets out number 2. And that brings us to Fernando Tatis Jr. Fastball over the inside. And then slider on the outside corner. 0-2 count. Tatis swings and misses. And Oberg strikes out the side after the single. In the 8th inning, Rockies looking for potentially one more insurance run. Josh Fuentes base hits. One of his worst episodes in a while. He usually gets at least a home run or something. Sam Hilliard trying to jump on this changeup ends up flying out to left field. So we hand over this 2-run lead to Michael Givens. 9 for 12 in save opportunities, and that ERA is way up. And lefties are really hitting the ball well against him. We started off against the lefty, Eric Hosmer, twisting toward the line, and that is caught by Hilliard. Alex Dickerson, another lefty, 1-2. Just missed that one inside, count runs even. And that one's driven to right center field. Dickerson leaves the yard once again. Right off the beat the streak sign. Second homer of the day. At least we're up 2. This lead courtesy of Zach Borenstein now, I suppose. And after the home run, Givens loses Nola here on 4 pitches. The tying run is aboard. Profar hit an RBI double earlier. Now he grounds one over to Duvall at first. And they get one, almost a double play. Now the tying run, a potential base hit from scoring. And the Padres have to go to their bench. Here is Nick Heath. Hitting 200. 1 homer on the season. And he taps it in front of the catcher. Elias Diaz makes the play. And the Rockies hold on to at least take one from the Padres in Denver. 4-3 game. A really fun one. Struggling early on and eventually get comfortable against Clevenger. Have one big inning. Only score in the 5th. And then the bullpen comes out and helps John Gray get the win. Nice job here by the Rockies. I do think we're going to be able to see much better play from Duvall the rest of the way. It's been a lot more consistent lately. The average is up to 165 from where it was. Raimel Tapia is now hitting 269. Would be nice to see a few more players get their average up as well. I think that's just a big part of why this offense is so inconsistent. Really relying on the long ball right now, and we're not quite an elite power team. I think raising the average a handful of points would be the difference between where we are now and getting to be a 500 baseball team. For the pitching, I probably should look at even Darren O'Day getting those setup opportunities, as he's been one of the best relievers on the team. And down at AA, last year's first-round pick, David Geronimo. He is on his first hot streak of the season now. A few home runs recently, hitting over 320. I'm not sure yet when he's going to AAA. I want to see him continue to dominate, hopefully get some nice upgrades, and we'll go from there. But what did you think of the episode, everybody? We continue our season next episode. Please leave your feedback down below. If you enjoyed the action, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and there's more Rockies franchise coming your way soon. Have a great day.